Shockwave Sweden's 6th-gen jet beats US air power. In a move that could reshape the defense calculus of Southern Europe, Michael Johansson, CEO of Swedish aerospace giant Saab, has confirmed that the company is engaged in formal talks with Portugal to supply its JAS-39 Gripen fighter jets. The revelation, shared during an interview with Swedish business daily Dagens Industri, signals a critical moment for NATO procurement trends, European defense autonomy, and Portugal's strategic posture in the Atlantic. For decades, Portugal has flown American-made F-16s. Now, with its aging fleet nearing obsolescence and geopolitical winds shifting across the West, Lisbon is re-evaluating its loyalty to Lockheed Martin and contemplating a pivot toward the Swedish-made Gripen, a move rich with both tactical and symbolic significance. At the heart of this discussion is the Gripen E/F, the latest variant of Saab's multi-role fighter. Sleek, fast and technologically advanced, the jet has quietly positioned itself as a cost-effective and operationally flexible alternative to US-made fifth-generation aircraft like the F-35. But the debate in Portugal isn't just about fighter jets. It's about sovereignty, alliance politics, and who controls the future of European skies. Portugal, a founding NATO member, operates a modest air force with 24 F-16AM and 4 F-16BM aircraft. These jets, though modernized over the years, are aging fast. The Portuguese military has long desired a move to stealth-capable F-35s, an ambition voiced openly as recently as 2019. But high costs, both upfront and over the aircraft's life cycle, have complicated that aspiration. With an annual defense budget hovering around $4 billion, far below NATO's 2% GDP benchmark, Portugal has little margin for error. The F-35's per unit cost exceeds $80 million, with operating expenses reaching unsustainable levels for many mid-sized NATO members. A 2023 report by the U.S. Government Accountability Office noted troubling readiness figures. Fewer than 60% of F-35s were mission-capable at any given time. Portugal's leadership has taken note. In a March 2025 interview with Portuguese newspaper Público, then-Defense Minister Nuno Melo indicated the government was actively reconsidering the F-35 in favor of more budget-conscious options. "We must align ambition with reality," Melo said. "The era of unquestioned procurement from the US is no longer viable." Saab's Gripen E/F isn't just a cheap alternative, it's a purpose-built, high-tech platform with serious pedigree. Powered by the General Electric F414G engine, the Gripen hits Mach 2 and delivers a combat radius of roughly 500 miles. Its advanced suite, featuring the Leonardo ES-05 Raven AESA radar, Skyward G-IRST sensor, and an electronic warfare system with 360-degree missile warning, makes it a formidable player in contested airspace. With 10 hardpoints and compatibility with weapons like the Meteor BVR missile and Iris-T, the Gripen offers both versatility and punch. But perhaps most impressive is its modular software architecture, which allows quick capability upgrades without costly hardware changes. It's not just about what the Gripen can do but how and where it can do it. Designed to operate from short or improvised runways, the aircraft embraces Sweden's Cold War-era doctrine of dispersed operations. For Portugal, which controls a vast swath of Atlantic territory including the Azores archipelago, this flexibility is a strategic asset. Compared to other contenders, the Gripen has obvious appeal. Its estimated flyaway cost is around $40 million, half that of the F-35, and its operational cost, at $7,000 per flight hour, undercuts the Eurofighter Typhoon by more than 60%. For a country grappling with tight defense spending and rising inflation, these figures matter. The modernized F-16V remains a possible fallback due to Portugal's existing infrastructure and training base, but its lack of fifth-gen features raises concerns about future relevance. The Typhoon, meanwhile, remains cost-prohibitive despite European origins. The Gripen hits a middle path, technologically advanced but not over-engineered, adaptable yet affordable. It's no wonder that smaller NATO nations like Hungary and the Czech Republic have found it a perfect fit. Saab isn't just selling jets, it's selling partnerships. In Brazil, Saab's 2014 deal to deliver 36 Gripens included local production in São Paulo and a long-term tech transfer arrangement. That deal created hundreds of jobs and deepened Brazil's domestic aerospace industry. A similar proposal for Portugal could involve companies like OGMA, the maintenance and manufacturing firm partly owned by Brazil's Embraer. Saab has worked with both Embraer and OGMA before, opening the door to a local supply chain and regional production nodes. With Portugal still recovering from over a decade of fiscal austerity, job creation and industrial development are not side perks, they're political necessities. Saab's offer to embed Portugal into its supply and maintenance ecosystem could tip the scales. This potential deal doesn't exist in a vacuum. Europe's security landscape has shifted dramatically since Russia's invasion of Ukraine in 2022. Air power, once a background player in NATO defense planning, is now front and center. While Portugal is geographically distant from Eastern Europe, its strategic role in the Atlantic is growing. The Azores serve as a critical logistics hub for transatlantic operations. The Gripen's compatibility with NATO systems like Link 16 and its ability to operate from short airstrips make it ideal for remote deployment. Sweden's accession to NATO in 2024 has further burnished Saab's credentials. The company now represents not just Swedish industry, but a broader European defense capability aligned with NATO standards. If Portugal goes through with the Gripen purchase, it could send shockwaves through the alliance. Though not a break from NATO standards, such a move would be seen as a pivot away from the United States' aerospace dominance, particularly the F-35 program. Countries like Poland and Norway have committed to the F-35, but not without complications. Poland's jets won't arrive until 2026 due to production delays, while Norway has faced cost overruns and maintenance issues. Saab's ability to deliver jets quickly, combined with its pitch for logistical simplicity, could be attractive to other nations watching Portugal's deliberations. But there's a catch: the Gripen isn't entirely free of American influence. Its engine is made by General Electric, requiring export licenses from Washington. In an era of trade tensions, exacerbated by the Trump administration's tariffs on European goods, this could become a sticking point. Saab has tried to address this dependency by emphasizing the Gripen's open architecture. Customers can integrate non-US systems and even develop their own software patches. But it's a delicate balance. Too much autonomy, and NATO interoperability could suffer. Too little, and Europe remains dependent on US supply chains. This debate over strategic autonomy is gaining momentum across the continent. France, Germany and Spain are co-developing the Future Combat Air System, FCAS, a sixth-gen fighter project aimed at reducing European reliance on US platforms. Portugal's choice could signal whether it aligns with this vision, or remains embedded in Washington's defense orbit. Despite growing interest in the Gripen, Portugal's political situation complicates any swift resolution. With snap parliamentary elections set for May 18, 2025.